Hello and welcome. Thank you for coming on to Heart-Based Connection to see me. I'm Anita and I have a wellness clinic called Wellness and Nutrition. And there I am on the screen. So I've come on today to talk about detoxing life and the toxicity that we're all surrounded with. And my story is a deep one and it goes on. I'm 55 and it goes on since I was a young teenager. And unknown to me and my parents and the life that we had, there was a lot of toxicity around, and that is a lot to do with emotional grief and stress that I was challenged with as a young teenager. And then a lot of toxicity in terms of environmental pollutions that affected me. I was chemically sensitive. I did not know that. When I took the pill, I did not know that that would have a massive reaction to my body. And this started with, once you have something, then you have something else to counteract it. So that was what happened to me. So I've come on today to share with you the story of how you can help prevent toxicity build-up. And if you've got toxicity build-up, that is a physical symptom that you may have. So if you've got migraines, if you have fibromyalgia, if you have, and these are all labels, by the way, these are labels stuck on you because of toxicity that's built up in the body. So how I got to the bottom of this was through a lovely, lovely woman who helped me in my journey to wellness many years ago. She provided me with a system which I now am trained in, and I became retrained into naturopathy, nutrition and energy medicine. And energy is really just about the energy of the body. And when you're feeling rubbish or you've got fatigue and you can't kind of get your focus in gear, that is what I'm talking about. So the energy of the body is on low kilter, and the system that I'm going to show you is how that helped me look at something. I could feel it, but I was going round and round in circles, going from hospital to doctor for years and years and years on a ton of medication that also impacted me and made me sicker. And that's my story. So I'm going to share with you my screen, and let's see if this comes up. Now, I hope you can see this. This is a scan. So what happens is it's a scan that's detected from voice, and it's not woo-woo or a bit, witchy-woo. It is an actual piece of technology that is out there and has been out there for a long time, years and years and years. And if you don't know about it, this is why I've come on today to Heart-Based Connection to tell you about it. And this is a NES Health Scan. And it's all to do with what's going on in my brain, what's going on in my body field, if I am having trouble with anything in particular. So this is what got me on my journey to wellness at that time. And it brings up oranges and purples as the priority of my body field in the energy area. So I might feel rough, I might not focus, and then my body will come up on this screen telling me what's going on. So I'm just going to go to the nutrition, for example, and there you can see quite clearly the purples and oranges. And if I clicked on them, it would tell me what's going on and where you can get the vitamin B6 from. Now, at this time, I can also see if my gut and my stomach and all of the digestive area of the body is actually in balance, and it is not on this particular scan all these years ago. And this is telling me a picture of the acidity that's going on. So it's really, really easy and really cleverly preventative of things to come. Because if we do not enable the body and support the body and give the body what it wants, we will end up with physical symptoms. And this is what my case was. Didn't know how to look after myself in terms of food, the products that I was putting on my skin. And I put a ton of products on my skin throughout my teenage life. I was also ingesting a lot of products as well. And that was a lot of medical drugs as well, in terms of ibuprofen, and I had periods and terrible, terrible periods, endometriosis, fibroids, fibro, you name it, and the labels got bigger and bigger and bigger. So this is just a little show of what is going on. And it's really clever because it actually tells me and you what is happening. And it's not to say that you can't have these things, but it's best at this time to give your body a break from them, because your body can deal with things if it's given the right environment to heal. So the other thing I wanted to show you is the environment. Now, this is a massive area, and as you can see here on the top of the screen, it really does go through personal care products, anything that you're coming into contact with, and especially things that are going to affect a body that is already dealing with a heavy toxicity load. So a passion of mine is to really, really help people understand how they can get healing back into their body. And, you know, for example, if I clicked on food here, there's nothing much coming up in terms of, is there anything going on at that time? And there wouldn't have been so much going on at that time for me, because I was already on a really, really clean up of health journey. The metals in my body was prominent, the aluminium and the mercury. This is not saying that the body has, it's not a diagnosis of things going on in the body, but it's an energetic response to it. So I had a good mouthful of silver fillings, and that was only a small snippet of what was the mercury and the aluminium in my mouth. Now, if you've got silver fillings in your mouth, I have a great program coming up, a little 4-week program, starts on the 17th of April. And I would ideally like to speak to you individually if you do want to go ahead with this, because everybody's unique. And even though I'm going to deliver certain things generally throughout those 4 weeks, some of the things that you can pull from your mouth. So, for example, if you've got silver fillings, the silver fillings give off an airborne toxicity into the tissues of your mouth. And it is really, really, well, let's say I'm just going to stop sharing so you can see me. Let's see. Yeah, you can see me. I'm back. You can, so if you've got silver fillings in your mouth, and if you do present with any nose issues, eye issues, ear issues, throat issues, headaches, migraines, ulcers, anything at all like that, in this 4-week program, we're going to look at certain things each week and simple things that you can do to get the toxins out of the body. A lot of the things that are going on environmentally, which is what I was showing you on the screen, is things that we can clean up really fast and really quickly and make our bodies more in balance. The word disease in naturopathy and in the natural laws is all to do with like when the body's out of balance. So that's where the word disease comes from. It's dis-ease. So when it's in ease, the body is much more able to heal and repair. So if you're not good at sleeping at night, and for whatever reason that might be, the body's gonna take a longer time to heal, because that's one of our major times to do that. So I'm going to just jump back onto the scan, and I wanted to show you again something that I think you might be a little bit more aware of. So there. So I'm going to go to radiation, and on this scan it brings up things that you could be potentially weakening the systems of your body. So we have lots of systems in the body, and you may know them. You may have got lots of issues going on with certain part of your systems. We have a lung system and heart and spleen, which is coming up on the right side of my screen. So these would be clear for me at that time. I had to clean up and I had to keep things away from my body while I gave it the opportunity to heal and get rid of certain toxins, which it will do if I'm, able to give it what it needs. So this is a really useful tool. It can, it shows, for example, like what's happening in the world and what you could use in a source to help your body, become more alkaline, become more strong, the way that it should be. So, for example, like I use a lot of iodine in my daily routine, and we can easily give you this screen to show what that looks like in food, because that's ultimately where I come from, is a nutritional point of view, because I wasn't very good with food, and there's reasons for that, because my stomach always felt out of sync. And if your stomach feels that way, if you've got gas, bloating, if you've got ulcers, if you take a bunch of different pharmaceutical drugs to combat things, maybe the 4-week offer that I've got going on will really enlighten and open the possibilities of what that could look like for you. And one of the other screens I wanted to show you was this. This is what I started out in. And this particular area is something that is really important to people when they start off on this wellness journey. I discovered my journey because my body was, I would go to the doctor and they would tell me that I should take a certain thing and it would help me get better. And I got emotionally attached to all of that, because when I didn't get better and I was back again, or I was off work and I wasn't, I was sick or whatever, and the whole rigmarole around all of these things is to do with emotional stress. And emotional stress is one of the massive factors that I certainly did not think there was anything to add up with that. I thought that was nonsense when I was in my teenage years. Emotional stress, and I have certainly been in a mess because of that, because I didn't listen to my body. I didn't realize that I was priority, that I put people first before me, I put work first before me. And what happens is all these different brain scans here, it shows different things like shock, varying different things here shows up on the scan. And if you can see where there's a 3, and this is so much where I have been, and I can still go into those modes, especially from the last few years, what's been happening. That didn't bother me in terms of what was going on. It was more about keeping your mind healthy. And this is what I look at. This is what you'd be, absolutely, you would be really giving yourself so much love and respect by saying, this is me, this is who I am. And you can see the territory of fear. And this is going back a number of years ago. And even though I've cleared a lot of emotional stress, even though I've cleared a lot of grief from lots of things that's happened to me personally and the people that I've lost in my life, there's still things going on. And you can see that quite clearly here with the word liberator and the word chill. And the word chill is the most highest priority because it's in purple. And what this is saying is that, yeah, I've cleared loads, I've got rid of things, I'm really healthy and I'm really well. And I am at this point in this scan years and years and years ago. But the point is that the stress that's been built up has impacted the nervous system. So if you feel anxiety, if you feel um, anything at all of stress in terms of not being able to go out in social areas, or if you've got panic attacks, going out and about in cars or anything like that, you're driving on a motorway, which is what happened to me. There's all of these things are impacting, and they layer up in the body. The body keeps a score and it never forgets, ever. so so the first about cleaning up and detoxing your life is a big challenge, and I challenge you, if you would want to do something for yourself, to utterly give yourself the what it deserves. I would love to meet you, and you could come along, and you don't have to see me in person. We can do things which way suits you best, but it's just a 4 week, every Monday for the 4 weeks starting on the 17th of April. It comes up like this. And I'm sure, like, when you are panicking or you have anxiety or you're not comfortable, um, you know, people keep saying to me today that, I'm going through menopause. Well, for me, menopause is just change of life, and it's just about all of the stuff that's been happening to me in my life, in my journey, is now coming to a place where I have to say, right, I'm getting rid of that, and I'm getting rid of that, and I get my hormones in balance. And so, if you are in a menopausal or pre or peri, whichever way you want to look at it, please, please, please believe me that, and I know you don't know me, but it is really an easy method to put into place. And this is what I'm going to look at. So I'm going to look at the mind and certain breathing techniques and somatic techniques that is just where you close your eyes and you go into yourself. And this is really about the inner child. And I don't know whether you look at yourself in the mirror and you actually pay homage to yourself and say, you know what, girl, you've got me. And this is what this program's about. It's about you've got you. And no matter what you've been through, you take some time and be more aware. And this is what my journey is about. This is my offering to you. So the second thing's about getting rid of toxins in your body. And if you wanted to take the scan, I do a 20-minute scan. It's just a quick look at nutrition, quick look at environmental, and obviously the mindset, where your mind is, because those to me is everything. The mind is massive. It's like it just creates so much. Doesn't it? It just creates a lot. So with the mind, then the body, getting rid of toxins, things that you eat, things that you weren't sure about, just to give you a bit of heads up and give you some ideas to change things and be more respectful to the body. We could do the scan that matches those. The home is easy, and I love this. I mean, literally, if you could see my home, in my bathroom, there is nothing other than a couple of products, and I can go through all of these things with you, these healthier alternatives to help you and your family, and especially as well if you have pets. I use the scan on my dog, Dougal, and we give him all of the frequencies from the different devices that I've got. So we do all kinds of alternatives. And then the time. So how do you, like me, I'm a workaholic. Obviously, since I've got a bit more into understanding cells, which is one of the things that I'm passionate about, cellular energy, and all of the things that cause disease in terms of cancers and things like that. So this is why I'm doing this offer. So these things on the screen that you can see, the mind, body, home, is massively impacting how the cells talk to each other. And I want to be able to look back and think, well, you know what? I didn't do that great back then, but now I'm on it. And if I can be of service and help other people to do this, I would be honoured to be in your space to help you along your journey to wellness. So the time is all about really when I went for thermal imaging to well, I had lots and lots of issues with my breasts in 2017, and honestly, kid you not, I did not expect what I got. I did not expect that. And I got a result back that was the highest grade, that I needed to do something with these cancer cells and to, take stock. So I'd already took stock. I'd already got rid of and done lots of things. But you know what? This particular thing about time and rebalance, I didn't really give myself time. I gave everybody else time. I made sure that the house was this and, my business was doing well and my freelancing was great, and my studying was good. But I didn't give myself time. And this is what I want to give you. So it's dead easy. It's nothing, a major, busting the gut or anything. It's going to be something that I hope will really make you smile. I'm really big into happiness and smiling and joy. So that's all that is. So it's just taking some things back. And this is personal to each and everybody that would sign up with me. So we have that talk, we have that dialogue. And if you do want the scan, that's what happens as well. So I hope I've been able to give you, I'll just give you a little final overview of the scan. The scan is an amazing tool, and it's just about the biochemical, physical factors of the body. So if you go and see a reflexologist or you have acupuncture, the scan is enabling you to see all the pathways in the body, and I can show you what that does. So the toxicity build up. So if you've had deaths, if you've had quite a ton of medication and a lot of stress in between, and lots of worry, whatever you've had, that's toxicity build up, and the pathways get blocked. So if you've had bad foods in the over the years and all of that stuff, all the pathways get blocked, so they can't talk to each other. The head can't talk to the gut, and the heart, etc., gives you lots of love and vibrational love and all that kind of thing. So all these things get stuck, and so the scan is giving me information and you of how that system, that pathway is blocked. And I've got loads of tools and techniques, and I actually have lots of amazing products that flips the switch real quick. And you have to have them now and again, because it can't all be done in certain other ways, because everybody's got different ways of finances and what they can afford and what they can't afford. So I've gone out at such extreme lengths to make sure that I can offer something just by food and with a product as well, depending on how people are. And if you can't swallow a tablet, then I've gone and looked for a liquid so that you can put it in your mouth. And there's lots and lots of things that we need to unblock these pathways so that the body can start being who it's meant to be. So I hope I've been able to give some insight into my journey and the offering that I've got. And please get in touch, and I hope I can help you. I've really enjoyed being here today. So thank you for having me, Heart-Based Connection. Huge love. Thank you.